Hey, what's going on, guys? Long time no see. Speaking of see, you can see and hear me and everything all good, yes? Please let me know if there's any issues. Mic should be fine. Yes. Now that I'm in Florida, man, I have to show up late to every stream. Thank you, Sleazy Beezy, for the thing there, for saying the AV checks out. Mike Trimble also said good to go. Jimbo, Limbo, Lorenz, Shaka, Josh, Broken V fan. Hey guys, long time no see, indeed. So, as you guys are seeing the live stream right now, may not be the same next time. This is how I've got it set up for today. It's not how I intended to be. I intended for my live streaming setup to actually be over on that desk, but I had the camera and stuff already set up here for doing the live stream with Adam this morning. So if you guys missed that, the USA Gundam TV live stream Adam and I did this morning. I already had the camera here, so I just set up the live stream here, but I think probably originally I intended to be doing it over there, so you guys might see a little bit different next time. Everything's been kind of adapting to the new space. I don't know why. Like while I was living in Korea, I moved a couple times, but I don't know. Usually moving to a new space, kind of adjusting to like a new setup for my studio and everything, hasn't been that difficult, hasn't taken that long, but it seems like it's taking a lot more time and effort here for some reason to get everything set up to how I want it. I think it's probably just more the fact that because the number one is a kind of small space that I'm in here, so I kind of have to be. Why is the camera reversed? Which camera is reversed? Oh, yeah, this camera is reversed. There, let me adjust that for you guys. Yeah, it's upside down. Well, it's upside down compared to the camera. Anyway, while I'm fixing that. The other reason, horizontal. Oops, no, not that one. The other reason, thanks, I didn't even notice that. Horizontal, not that one. I want to flip this one. The reason why I think it's taking so long is because it's a kind of small space here, and I really want it to be really good, whereas before I was just kind of, making it work with what I had. But I really want it to be really good, quality-wise, everything, the lighting and video quality and everything for you guys. I really want to take this opportunity to really make an improvement overall to the quality, not just adapt to a new space. So it's been just kind of a challenge for both of those reasons, I guess. But let's try this one. There we go. Ta-da! Now it's not backwards. And we're now good to go. Okay. So Blue Falcon there, how's the weather? Weather is good. Yeah, nice. I hate cold weather, so I'm loving the Florida weather here. Now, of course, it's winter here now. It's gonna be hotter, as everyone has been telling me. Oh, you like it now, but wait till summer comes when it's hot. 9 months, super hot, 9 months of the year. So yeah, I mean, that's coming, of course. Also gonna do something a little bit different just for this particular build, in that I'm gonna actually build this RG according to the manual by building the legs first. Normally, if you guys watch any of my live streams, I almost always build the torso first, because for like HG kits and most MG kits usually start off with the torso, but RG kits usually start off with the feet and the legs for whatever reason. I like building the torso first, so normally I would just build the torso first and just build out of order, but just because I'm going to do things differently today. Blue Falconer said the face camera is definitely a lot better. The face camera is this camera you're seeing me, is the same camera. It's just my laptop camera. The reason that looks so much better is just because I have better lighting now. So lighting makes a big difference for just like a low quality webcam basically, which is what it is. I mean, the built-in camera on MacBooks is pretty good. But yeah, the lighting makes a big difference, so there's that. And this camera, which you guys are seeing what's going on here, is also not the camera that I was using in Korea. It's an actual, like a Sony DSLR camera, an Alpha 640, 6400, 6400, that's what it would be. So this is what I've got here working with at the moment, and that's probably what'll be the camera that I'm using for live streaming. So many parts indeed. I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat, guys. There's a lot of kit to build today, but I'll try to keep up with the chat. It's been a while, so we got a lot to catch up on. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Probably a lot of questions about how I'm adjusting to Florida and everything. But what do you think of the Fukuoka new Gundam models? I was not surprised at all that they're making kit versions of the new Gundam in Fukuoka. It was only a matter of time. So I don't know. I'm not planning on getting any of them. The RG would be kind of cool, maybe. I think that that new backpack that it has definitely looks the best on the RG more than the because it looks like it's an RG backpack just in terms of its like design and details and everything. So to see it like slapped onto the entry grade, it just doesn't really look very good, I think. And then the SD, I don't know, I'm not that into SDs, as you guys know, so that doesn't really do much for me. So maybe we'll, you know, if I get a chance to get my hands on the real grade version, maybe we'll pick that up. Oh, hey, there's Patrick with a super chat there. A donation to the Zaku Florida Man Foundation. Glad to see you back on live stream build. Thank you, Patrick. I'm glad to be live streaming again, and we got a lot of stuff to live stream. I've got, I posted a picture a week or 2 weeks ago of like what I've got going on here as far as like the kind of backlog of kits waiting to be built and reviewed. And it's been growing, but I have been making a dent in building a lot of that stuff. So I've got a few of the Backlog kits built up. Well, two. The Blazing Gundam and the Wing Sky Zero I've got built up, ready to review. The Live Lance Heaven, I'm in the process of putting that together. The Machine Krieger Raccoon, you guys may have seen on Instagram. I posted a picture of that. I've got that built up, ready to paint. The Space Crab, the new version of that, I built one of those up for review. The new Nachin tank kit from Kotobuki, I built that up for review. And now this. So next thing after this will actually be the set of Barzams, is the next thing that I'm going to be putting together for review as well. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff to review. As you guys may have seen, I posted on Instagram as well. Recently got that Tamiya Brachiosaurus kit, as well as a new Tamiya M18 Hellcat tank kit. Both of those are new territory for me, so I'm always excited to check out something new. Never built a dinosaur kit before, and never built a proper armor tank kit either. So a lot of new exciting stuff that I'm looking forward to building. So probably won't be doing a whole lot of painting for a while. I'm gonna try to just because there's so much stuff to build and review that I've just been behind just because of moving and everything. I'm way behind on that. I want to try my best to focus on just try to get caught up on that stuff. As I'm gonna try to avoid scratching the painting itch for a while, but I'm sure I'll still probably try doing a little bit of painting. But for the time being, I don't have any kind of airbrush set up here yet in this space, so just been working on getting like this area set up just for recording and streaming. Getting it set up for painting hasn't been the priority yet, but I can, that said, I can still do like hand painting, and I probably will try to squeeze a little bit of hand painting in here and there just between other kits, because as much as I love building kits, I do like painting as well, so I can't just build and never paint anything. So yeah, I got the machine created raccoon ready for paint, and so I'll probably try getting some paint on that in the near future. We will probably, let's see, hand painting Gunpla stream when? Dianjo? I don't know actually. I could do that. Yes. Possibly. It's an idea. So yeah. I wasn't planning to hand paint any Gunpla. But it's an idea. Maybe. I think I will go ahead. I don't always put the stickers on these kits either, but I think I will go ahead and do that. But I need to grab that over here then. Especially on real grades, they just have so many stickers. Well, let's see. This is number 17. I feel like with real grades especially, one of the great things about real grades is how good the kits look just straight out of the box. And the stickers do play a big part of that. You know, some people like using stickers, some people don't, but it's kind of one of the gimmicks, I guess you could say, of the real grade line, is that they look really good straight out of the box. Just with their details and color separation and included stickers. So, might as well put them on. So there's one foot. You're actually supposed to build both feet at the same time, but I have them separated. All the parts for one leg and all the parts for the other leg. So we'll come back and build the second one once we start on the second leg. Let's see. VAR FYI. Don't know what that means, but alright. Yeah, we're gonna try to finish this today. We'll see how the time is going, how long it takes. It should be good, but as you guys know, moving, one of the things that's involved with that is that we're buying a house. So fortunately we did get our offer accepted. Finally we found a house that we liked and we got our offer accepted. And that's the hard part, as I've heard, but honestly, what we've been having to do now in the time since after getting our offer accepted has been quite difficult as well, just because I don't know anything about mortgages and house insurance and all this kind of stuff. So this week has just been crazy. Now that our offer was accepted on our house, now just getting everything else squared away as far as getting all the paperwork done for the mortgage, and spent like an hour and a half at the insurance shop yesterday, and probably need to call another different insurance place. I should do. Probably should be doing that now, but trying to get this done with you guys here. But we'll have to call them a little bit later too. Anyway, there's just a lot of things to do. Friday greetings. Hey, Mike. Alright. So, lovely inner frame on this, I'll say. The inner frame's very nice. Oh, we're supposed to be building 2 of the leg inner frame at the same time as well. You don't always do that. A lot of real grades, at least as far as I can remember from my experience, you'll build 2 of the feet at the same time, but then the legs they'll do separately, but that's because normally the legs, well, I guess it depends on the kit, but some legs are not symmetrical. This one is symmetrical except for the very top pieces. You're just going to bend it one way or the other for whether it's the right or left side. But anyway, in this case, you are supposed to be building this times 2, but I'm not. It's okay. So that goes there, is that right? Yeah, alright, I guess so. That's sticking out to the back more than I expected that it would, but... And we got this guy. Yo, Zaku, it's been a minute, fam. Trays, yes, it has, indeed. But, yeah, it's been a lot going on here. And then we got this here. As you're building this, I'm building my first PG. I got the Wing Zero Custom. Nice one, DC. Wing Zero Custom is a... That was my... Oh no. Where'd this sticker come from? There's a sticker stuck on my finger that must have come off the sticker sheet. And I think it's actually supposed to go on the side of the knee, so I actually might need that right now, but... Anyway, Wing Zero Custom was my first perfect grade as well, and I actually never finished putting it together. I got it when I was young. I think when I was in beginning of high school? Maybe, something like that. Now what about the stickers? Well, let's see. Thought it would be telling me now, but apparently not, or the sticker doesn't go on. I was expecting this little sticker that's come off on my finger to go on the side of the knee, but apparently it doesn't. Oh, 16, right? Yeah, 16. Oh, it goes on the backpack. Alright, well, it's going to be a while till we're going to be building that, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to stick this back on the sticker sheet for the time being then. Stay on there, please, until we need you. Will you have a build room in your house or just the store? Probably won't have like a room in my house, but I'll probably have some space carved out, or at least a space where I'm gonna be building stuff or just doing some work or something at home. Yeah, probably. But I don't think, at least for now, I'll have that much at home, but we'll see. Techno Hollow and Sam Critchlow. Oh, kind of hard to see on my screen here, sorry. Over there on Twitch. Let's see, said, well, Gundam 61 on Twitch said, like snap building, I generally don't have the patience for stickers or painting. Yeah, stickers are usually not bad, except on RGs where you have a lot of them. I'm guessing he's looking at the YouTube's chat. Yeah, I've got both chats here. And actually both here, but it's just kind of easier to see one. Thank you for giving me the advice on Instagram. I ended up buying both the MG00 and the MG Curious. Well, there you go. Spam. Yeah, one of the things that's been something that I'm getting used to here in America that I didn't experience in Korea is you get a lot of spam calls, don't you? We didn't really have that in Korea. Just all day my phone's ringing, like there's nobody that would be calling me here other than like just my wife, so every time my phone rings I can just assume that it's spam. But you never know. I do have to pay attention to it. How's this go? Here, okay. Like that. Save tons of money buying only MGs. Yeah, especially in recent years, there hasn't been a whole lot coming out. But yeah, if you're the kind of person that only builds MGs, you probably are saving a good amount of money these days. There's not much new coming up, but there's still a lot of great MGs out there. So I mean, unless you have like every MG ever made, there's still plenty of stuff to buy. It's just, I guess, a matter of what you can get your hands on. There we go. Alright. So that goes on there, then this part here. Yeah, someone mentioned earlier in the chat that they love the design of the Hainu's legs. I do too. And I'm really glad that Bandai went with a kind of fusion design. They kind of took the design of the original Master Grade Hainu and the Hainu Verka and kind of did like a little bit of a mix of both for the design of the RG here, which I quite like, because there's a lot that I like about the Master Grade Verka. Honestly, not that much that I really like design-wise about the original Master Grade, but I like that they didn't just make a mini version of the Master Grade Verka. So I think that's pretty cool. It's still very similar to the MG Verka, but it's more than just a miniaturized version of it, so I like that. Let's see. Well, this piece goes on the front of here. And let's see. Oh, I'm trying to looking at the menu, like, this is supposed to fit on here. What? How? That's because the wrong one. This blue piece is supposed to fit on here. That makes a lot more sense. Right. There we go. Unless you're Jabman, there's plenty of gunplay you can build if you only build MGs. Yeah, Jabman, I mean, he occasionally branches out from MG, and I think probably a lot of that has been just because of the fact there's not as many MGs coming out as there once were. I think in the earlier days of his channel was when there was MGs coming out a lot more frequently, and he could do like a review of a new MG like once a month or something. But not the case anymore, is it? So let's see. That goes into there. Nope, that's backwards. Oops. I thought I might do that. That goes into there. Speaking of Jabman, he reviewed this kit. Jabman needs an intervention about his microphone setup. Just send a message or something. I've told him on numerous occasions that it drives me crazy watching his reviews when it comes to the end of the review and the outro hits, because the outro, like the audio level he set for his outro is like set to 1,000,000. So like when the outro plays, it's like blast your ears. So I've told him, please lower that level, but he refuses. So otherwise, I mean, as far as like the mic goes, I haven't really noticed anything, but I mean, I've been watching him forever, so I guess it's probably just the same as it's always been, I guess, and so I just don't really think too much of it. But that's interesting how that piece slides up in there like that. Pretty cool. And then we got these little fellas. So this one goes on here first. It clips into there, and then that pops into the side here. There we go. Okay. And this side too. Alright. MG Flugel comes with all the parts to build a regular Tallgeese, the parts to make it into the Flugel, and nearly all the parts to build the Wing Zero Customs wings. That's interesting. As if you're buying that kit though, why would you make anything other than the intended Tallgeese Flugel? But people always ask that when it's like a variant kit. Like when, I guess if like the color was different, I could understand. So like for example, when like the Exia Dark Matter MG came out, and people were asking like, can you build the regular Exia with this? I was like, well, if you wanted to build the regular Exia, why don't you just buy the regular Exia? But I understand it's a different color, so people who don't paint can get like a red and black version of the Exia by building it with the Dark Matter kit. I understand that, but for like the Tallgeese Flugel, it's the same color. As far as I can remember, there might be like a couple of very small alterations, but it's mostly the same color, so I don't know why you would get that kit and then just build it as the regular Tallgeese unless you wanted to then like have the wings to use for something else. I guess you could do that. Because like if you were buying just the regular Wing Verka kit and wanted to give the wings to something else and just having the regular Wing Verka Gundam without the wings, that Gundam without the wings is not, you know, there's not much there. The wings is kind of its main thing. But the Tallgeese, you know, the Tallgeese without the wings is just regular Tallgeese, so at least you still have something. I guess I get that. Alright. Let's build up this other leg now. So that's one leg down. One to go. I think he only has 2 legs, is that right? Better double check. Let's see. MG Dark Matter came with only 80% parts to build the regular Exia, 80% of the repair too. Yep. Just using that as an example, but yes, you know what I mean. Yeah, the Dark Matter kit came with a lot of leftover parts. I remember that kit having just like a ton of leftover parts left on the runner, just because it was a mishmash of different kits. But I don't mind. I think that probably does drive up the cost of the kit a very small amounts, just because it's more plastic needed to make it. But you know, a lot of leftover parts, and so it's a very easy kit to customize. So if you wanted to build like a different type shoulder armor or something like that, you got parts there to kind of customize it just straight out of the box by just kind of mixing and matching a little bit. That's cool. Or you can use it for kit bash parts for something else. Like if you had the regular Exia MG and you wanted to give it like the shoulder armor of the repair 2 or something, for example. So that's pretty fun. One nice aspect of that kit. Now where's our, there it is, tiny little toe piece there. Oop. And then, not that one, this one, and oh, I hope I put that ankle part on there correctly. I think fortunately I did somehow, even though I was not paying attention to that definitely, but managed to put the ankle part on there correctly. There you go. And this one, gonna go like that, and like that. Alright, have you seen photos of the Fukuoka New Gundam kits? Yes, I have. Wormy Jester. Hey, thanks for streaming, keeping me company while I write my paper for uni. You're welcome, Philinator. I don't know how you can listen to people talk and type at the same time. I can't do that. Like if I've got like just YouTube playing, like I kind of almost always do, I'll just have like something on YouTube playing in the background while I'm just doing something else, working on just building a kit or something. And then if I need to like edit a video where I need to hear like the audio, I need to like hear myself talking in the video. I can't have something else playing in the background. Or if I need to type an email or type a message or something like that to someone, I've got something else playing, I have to stop it. I can't listen to someone talking and like think about talking at the same time. It's hard for me to do that. If you know what I mean. But if you can write a paper and listen to me building this at the same time, then that's pretty impressive. I use leftover parts from various gym kits to build a custom from it. Yeah, a lot of, especially the more recent gym variants and stuff, have a lot of leftover parts as well. Let's see, pop these onto here while we're here. Did you guys see there was I shared it on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on there. Not to keep up with what I'm doing, but just to keep up with the stuff that I share, because I always enjoy finding cool stuff on Twitter. But there was one that a guy did a stop motion assembly video of this kit, and it's insane. I've seen like stop motion assembly videos before, but this one was definitely like the most impressive one that I've ever seen. It was pretty crazy. I can't remember who it was though offhand. You'll have to just go, if you're interested to see that, just go check my Twitter feed. Restream, not restreams, retweets and all that. Yeah, it's crazy. Any tips for cleaning the nozzle of an airbrush if it gets a bit clogged up? Bond. Yeah, you can just leave it in some, just anything like that's a paint stripper kind of thing. I think like if you're in the US, you can use Purple Power. I actually just picked up a big gallon jug of Purple Power the other day for me to use. You can use it for stripping paint off a model. You could also use it to just dunk your airbrush parts and stuff. Check what kind of airbrush you have though, or like the assembly of the airbrush, because I think like some airbrushes have parts that they say to like not put in like cleaning solutions and stuff. So double check on that first. I wouldn't want you to go and like ruin a part of your airbrush, but especially if you can just remove the nozzle piece, that should be easy, because it should just be just a tiny little piece of metal, and you just put that in some purple powder or some industrial strength degreaser or something like that. Basically, shouldn't really take that long. You could just put it in, pop it in overnight, and that should be plenty. You can get like airbrush cleaning kits, but I've heard that they're actually not very good to use, because I think the reason is because the cleaning kits use like kind of metal brushes, which does actually end up scratching up the inside. You use like a little metal brush, like shove it through your airbrush, but that'll like actually cause scoring on the metal, which is not a huge deal. But if you have like a really nice airbrush and you plan on like using it for a long time, if you keep doing that like every few months or something like that, it's gonna just chew away the inside of the metal and everything there. Oh no, I was not supposed to put that piece on yet. Let's see. Bandai says you're supposed to put these silver pieces in first, but nah, I'll be okay. So do like that, and then put these on. Hey Zach, any recommendations when it comes to fixing up older kits? Zeke Zion asked. It depends on what kit you're talking about. You're talking about fixing up an older kit. I'm not sure what kit you mean or what exactly you're talking about. If you give me some more details or something, maybe I can share something. So something a bit stronger than AKA interactive thinners, Bond, for cleaning the airbrush tip. Yeah, it just a thinner would probably do. I mean, that would do something, but I'm not sure. You could always try it. It's not. It's certainly not going to hurt anything. Just putting it in some thinner. You could try that. If it's still not working, then you could try something else. But yeah, thinner will work to a degree. You can get, I think it's made by Tamiya. I believe so. Tamiya or Mr. Color, like a GSI, makes a Mr. Tool Cleaner, I think is what it's called, solution, which I don't know exactly what it is, but it's stronger than thinner. It's just like a strong cleaning solution, basically. Someone who knows, if any of you guys know more about it, and enlighten me. But I have some, or I had some that I used to use. But yeah, actually I don't know exactly what's in it, to be honest. What it is. I just assumed it's basically just a solvent, essentially. So essentially like a type of thinner, but I don't know, to be honest. How's the build? Chris Lim asked. So far, pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm just kind of trying to speed through it, so I can tell though that like the armor hatch opening gimmicks and stuff here in the legs are very cool. I think these parts also are supposed to open up as well. I'll have to play some more with that. Play around with that some more later. But so far, yeah. Seems pretty interesting. Oops, I forgot to put the little stickers on the ankle of this one. But it seems like they're not going to be very visible. But since I put them on the other foot, I might as well put them on here too. These little stickers here. Here and here. Both the legs are already done, yes. What are we at for time? About 40 minutes or so. Started around 1:30, but it was in like 10 minutes or so before I actually got on. So, yeah, there you go. Waist is next. I can tell you guys though, there is a lot of parts for the backpack of this kit. It's pretty insane. Half an hour maybe. So yeah, something like a half hour or so, I suppose. Alright, so let's get to it. Well, we got a couple of stickers on here too, apparently, so let's get these on here. It's probably gonna be a few. Let's see. 9 gonna go on one side and 10 on the other. A few more of these like chrome stickers here for the frame. For some frame detail here. If I can get this off of here. There we go. So that. I have an older Zabungle kit that is well old and not too good. So I'd like to try working on the joints to give it better articulation. Okay, so yeah, you're talking about like a super old kit like that. I know what you mean. It's like a 80s kit. It's very similar to like the original series Gundam kits. where there's hardly any articulation at all. It's like very basic. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you could go about it. You could scratch build new joints entirely out of plot plate. You could kit bash joints from a different kit. I wouldn't try putting parts from like a Master Grade 2.0 Gundam into something like that. I think it's just gonna be like trying to put an iPhone computer into a typewriter kind of thing. Like it's gonna be kind of weird, and you can make it work, but I think it's gonna be just pretty awkward in the end. I don't know. Probably your best bet would be just scratch building new joints. Not that complicated to scratch build, depending on how complex you want to go. You can also get just joint parts from Kotobukiya makes them, and I believe Wave also makes like joint option parts that you can get. So if you check, there's like all like the Kotobukiya different option parts for weapons and detail parts and all that. They also make joint option parts as well, so you can get those. Those work pretty well. Even you can get like joint parts from different Bandai option sets as well. If you can get your hands on some of like the campaign part sets, some of them have parts for making new joints and things. So there's a lot of options. It just kind of depends on how good you want the joints to look, you know, exactly how much movement you want to get out of the joint, and like what type of joint it is, whether you want it to just be just a hinge, just move back and forth one way, or like a complete like ball and socket ball joint type of thing. Just depends. It depends on how much movement you want it to have ultimately. If you only really need it, like if you go back and look at some of the modification work that I did on the 1/100 scale Gelgoog old kit, not like I didn't do anything that crazy or anything that impressive on that build really, but I just did a little bit of modification to the joints just to make it to be able to just do a better looking pose. Not to really have a bunch of articulation, but just to look like its pose was not just like a super derpy one like that. And that wasn't all that complicated to do, just some quick and dirty, simple modifications to that, just to make it look a little bit nicer. So, yeah, hope that helps. But if you get to working on the kit and you like are stuck or just want some ideas or something like that, just send me a message. You can send me pictures of what you're working on, and I can try to give you some better advice. It's kind of more specific to maybe a particular part of the build if you want. That's always easy. You can send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I am on Discord, but it's my Discord server is part of my Patreon rewards, so if you're interested in becoming a patron, you can go that route as well too. You can talk to me on there as well. And let's see, this part should pop onto here, right? Pop onto here. Uh-oh. Yeah, like that. There you go. That's I heard something click, so that should be good. All right. Then this one here, a very nice color separation with a tiny little white V in the front of the crotch being a separate piece. I like to see that. Good amount of this like secondary silver color part of the frame being utilized around on the kit. That's also very nice looking. Again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about how like kind of one of the key gimmicks of the RG line is the fact of how good the kits look just straight out of the box. So utilizing like the silver parts and stuff on there is all kind of part of that. making the kit look really good straight out of the box. I asked earlier, but my stream cut out. If you already answered, I can go back and rewatch. Bond asked, but do you have any thoughts on how to custom connect the upper and lower torso on a Megami device aside from a boatload of epoxy? Custom connect the upper and lower torso of Megami device. So you mean like between the chest and the stomach part, you want to connect those and not have a gap in between, like under the boobs, basically? I mean, other than a boatload of epoxy, I think epoxy is just kind of the best way to go about it. If I were going to do it, I would just do it with epoxy. I would just glue the parts first, give the glue plenty of time to cure, to make sure that it's definitely not going to go anywhere, and then I would just fill it with epoxy. I honestly don't know even, I mean, like, that's definitely what I would do, and if someone were to ask me, as you are, to think of a different way to do it, honestly, I think I'd have a hard time coming up with a different idea as to how I would do it, because that's just going to be the easiest way. If you don't want to use epoxy because you're worried about the color, one thing that I guess you could do is, you may have seen people do this before online. Except the connect piece. Yeah, if you're just worried about the color, because you don't want to paint the kit, but you don't want to have like a line of like pale yellow epoxy between the two parts, you want the color to match, one thing that you could do is to make putty using the plastic. So you may have seen that. Basically you just cut up a bunch of the plastic. Oh, shit. Cut up a bunch of the plastic and like the skin color, plastic runner. Chop it up into little like pellets basically, and then put it in a jar with some thin cement, so like Tamiya thin cement or whatever, and just kind of let that dissolve, and it basically just turns into a putty, essentially a glue, kind of a very thick glue of whatever color you use for the plastic. So you could mix colors of plastic, but if you only want to be skin tone, you just put all the skin tone parts in there, mix it with some glue, and basically make a putty out of that. And then you could use that to fill it in. That could work. The problem is it would need to be thick enough, or what you might end up having to do is to have to do a few layers. So you get it to be as thick as you can. You know, put a bunch in there, and you might still, as that cures, it'll shrink though because it's still solvent based. So you might have to put a layer, you know, sand it a little bit, and then put another layer and sand it a little bit, and put a layer and sand it a little bit. Oh, the video's frozen, it looks like. Let me see if I can do this. It is, isn't it? It's not here on the camera, but it is there. So let me just try this. No, that didn't work. Just turning it off and turning it on again. Maybe. Connection seems fine. So why is that not working? The camera facing the kit is frozen for some reason here on OBS. But on the display on the camera, it's fine. Well, let's just try this. Turn it off. And it's not going off there. Let's see. On. And let's just try reconnecting this maybe. Okay. No. Well, let's bear with me a moment. I'm surprised we made it this far into the live stream so far without anything messing up. So let me just go ahead and try just removing it and adding that again. see. No, it's not working at all. Unplug it and plug it back in again. See if that works. Strange. Sorry, guys. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just need to readjust that again, and just gonna go ahead and flip that back around for you guys. Flip horizontal, flip vertical. There you go. Let's get that focus right again. It's backwards and upside down for me. Ooh, crispy. There we go. Okay, good. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. If you guys saw the live stream this morning with Adam, I hope you guys aren't watching me all day long, but if you happen to watch the live stream this morning as well, the camera just cut out on us in the middle of the stream as well, so I'm not sure. It's kind of an issue, but we're dealing with it anyway. So, appreciate you guys' patience. Hello from Mexico. Hello when you're at work watching. I'm at work building, so if you guys are at work watching, I think that's probably alright too. How close would this be to the Verka if I painted it in those colors? Design-wise, it's very similar to the Verka, but it's not exactly the same. What's Zaku's Twitch name? Can't seem to find him on Twitch. DC, it's Zaku Aurelius on Twitch. Surprisingly enough, it's exactly the same name, so you should be able to find me on there if you just search Zaku Aurelius. I should pop up there. So if any of you guys are currently watching on a different platform and prefer to watch on Twitch, I am on Twitch, in case you didn't know that. Someone asked during the live stream this morning if I had any plans for the... There's only asked for the Virtue, actually. I don't think anyone asked about this kit, but yeah, someone asked if I had any special plans for the Virtue. Which I don't really, aside from just building it and reviewing it. And kind of the same thing for this one. I don't really have any plans, in case any of you guys were wondering, to do anything painting or customizing or anything on this. For the time being, just build it and review it, and that's all I have planned for right now. One main reason being is that I just have a lot of other stuff to get built. Other reason being, like I was saying before, just don't really have a proper painting setup quite yet. And the other reason being that I just don't really have any really desire at this current point in time to paint this kit. There's other stuff that I have that I would like to work on, and just this is just not really one of them. Seems like a great kit. Nothing against the kit, but it's just not one that is screaming my name to be painted. I will probably, after I'm done with the review, I'll probably take this downstairs and go put it in the storefront display for our storefront here at the store. So if you guys are in the Florida area, planning to stop by to visit here, you can check it out. I'm gonna have like some other builds. This is One thing that I don't like about a lot of RG kits is that a lot of times it's hard to get them to stand flat because there's so much articulation in the legs and stuff, and they tend to be, especially the more recent ones, they tend to be a little bit tight, which is good. You want them to not be too loose, but the problem is then when you're just trying to get it to stand flat, it's always kind of got this little bit of rock to it. It's because I can't quite figure out how to, oh, well that could be one of the problems, that that foot is not plugged up in there all the way. It's still kind of doing that. Because a lot of times the feet have multiple points of articulation in the feet, and so if you got one foot that's flat and the other foot that's got, it's a little bit bent, it's gonna have that wobble to it like that. So you have to get the angle right, and you have to make sure everything's all flat. Everything's got to be just so to keep it from wobbling. There we go. Okay. Next, the torso, which I have just because in order to fit everything in my box here, I put all the parts for, like the main parts for the back, not the funnels, but everything else, all the backpack parts here I put together with the parts for the torso. So after building the torso, then it goes to the arms, but I'm going to build the torso and the backpack at the same time here. And these are all backpack parts there, mostly. It's backpack parts. Not sure about this one. But after today's live stream build, the next one is undecided. I may throw it to you guys with a poll or something, see what you guys would like to see. We'll probably do a live stream build of the Virtue. I've got that over there to build up. Other than that, a lot of stuff to build up. So we'll probably actually be doing a live stream build of a Megami device kit in the near future as well. But yeah, the gold looks brown. The gold is definitely a very orangey gold. It's like metallic orange, basically. Not really very much gold at all. Esli Fuentes asked, how's Florida life? Florida life so far is good. We're adapting. It's very different for us. My wife is Korean. My kids have been to America a couple times, but just, you know, for like a week or so, you know, they've never lived here. I'm from the US, but I'm from the Midwest. I've never lived in Florida before, and I have been living outside of the US for 11 years. So we're moving to Florida, we're kind of all adjusting. Is your wife in tons of culture shock yet? I mean, yes and no. I mean, she's been getting American culture like from me for the decade that we've been together. So she's been getting American culture, but I mean, just like, yeah, living here, yeah, we're just all adjusting. My daughter has been adjusting fine because she just turned 4, so she's fine. As long as there's like fun stuff going on or something to do, she's fine. My son's been having a little bit harder time because he's 6, and you know, it's a big change for him. He's going to kindergarten, and yeah, it's gonna take him some time to adjust. One of the things that we've noticed, that my wife notices a lot, here in America is that everything's salty. Every time we eat anything, she's always talking about how salty everything is. Everything's saltier here compared to what we're used to. Where's this dang piece? Let's see. Hello from France. Hello. And Scuffle said, you are in Florida? Yes, I am. How do you quickly switch colors and an airbrush? Just started airbrushing and it gets tedious to switch. There's, I don't know, there's just not really any quick way to change. One slightly quicker way, if you're wanting to change colors quickly, would be to use a siphon feed airbrush, where you have like the bottle that you plug up onto the underside of the airbrush and you can just switch out the bottle. That's one way. Also, Sparmax makes a airbrush, I forget what it's called at the moment, but Sparmax makes an airbrush where it's a similar concept to a siphon feed airbrush, but it's like a exchangeable bottle, a kind of cartridge that plugs onto the top of it. I've used that. I don't actually find it very comfortable to use though, so I would say, just use your standard cup style airbrush, gravity feed airbrush, and unfortunately there's not really any quick way to do it. I mean, it doesn't take that long to change colors. If it's taking you like 20 minutes or something like that, that's too long. But yeah, I don't really know if there's any other really good way other than that to change colors. Is the MG Atlas coming soon? I would say probably not. If you're a scale maniac like me, go with the HGC. Let's see. Let's see. La, 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 la. Hey, Brian L. Thank you for the super chat there. I like your channel very much. Appreciate that. Got a lot of cool stuff. It should be improving. Hopefully you guys like some of the improvements that are coming in the channel. Mostly just in like lighting and video quality and stuff. The Bedroom Gaming just arrived in the stream. Welcome. We're about, I was gonna say halfway done, but there's so much backpack on this kit, it's probably not quite halfway yet. It's like halfway up the height of the kit, but the upper half has I think a lot more stuff going on. I'm a longtime fan. As a Korean who came to the US as an 8 or 9-year-old, I got immersed quickly watching a lot of TV and comics. Congrats on moving back to the States and hope everything is well in Florida. Thank you. My son has discovered the Dogman comic books. He's been enjoying those. We went to Goodwill just to look around a couple weeks ago, and they had a bunch, like 5 books of like the Dogman series, and they're like brand new, like 70 cents each. So that was awesome. Let's see. Been a while since I caught a live stream. Reiji, yeah, well, it's been a while since I've had a live stream, so don't worry on that, Reiji. You haven't missed anything because there hasn't really been anything going on. Had to meet the stream for 30 minutes for a call, and I see we're halfway done. Yes. Sort of. Almost. Except now the problem is I can't find this one particular piece. And... oh! That's why. That's silly of me. I forgot I did that. Those are all the parts just for the backpack, not the torso. I put the torso pieces over here with the parts for the head. So I was wrong earlier. I said we're going to build the torso and backpack at the same time, but actually we're going to build the torso and head at the same time. Yeah, that's what I did. I forgot about that. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's all the parts for the torso and the head. So now we're back in business. Now I can find what I'm looking for. And let's see. So that's gonna go onto there, and this one here. Zach, will you get the F90 Xeon version? Send me something about that if you would. I remember seeing something very briefly. I saw like a post somewhere about that release, but I didn't really see too much about it. So I actually don't know really what it looks like off the top of my head. Like I said, recently just been very busy. I mentioned my Discord before, which is a part of my Patreon rewards, but even that I've been neglecting more than usual just because it's just nonstop. I have things to do. That has been one thing that's been difficult to adjust to, I think, for both my wife and I, is that because my wife is new to the US, and just there's a lot of things that it's just difficult for her to do, even though she speaks English. Well, there's just like she just doesn't know how stuff works here, so like it's hard for her to do very much by herself. So without me, there's not much she can do. So that means that if I'm like just here like doing work, then like nothing else is really like getting done. So then when I go home, whatever, not to our home, just to where we're staying temporarily, which is just in an Airbnb until we can move into our house. I'm just kind of doing stuff to what we need to get done for getting ready to move into the house, and like I said, mortgage and all that kind of stuff. Working with the realtor and everything, all that kind of fun stuff. So just haven't really had much time to do very much of anything. I wanted to say when I first got into Gunpla 2 years ago, your basic videos were what helped me to learn a lot. I wanted to say thank you for all you do. Thank you, Rock Easy Robot. Well, you're welcome, and just thanks for watching. I like that F90 Love Resu, so it's red, eh? I'll have to check it out. Yeah, sorry, I don't think I've seen too much of it in detail. Hello from England. Been binging your videos while working through my backlog a lot lately. Haven't managed to catch a live stream until now, though. Oh, well, welcome. And like I've been saying, there just hasn't really been a whole lot of live streaming going on lately, but from now on, there will be, as I'm kind of finally getting everything to the point where everything's pretty set up now. We should be able to live stream pretty regularly. If any of you guys are fans of Plama No Trend, the live stream that I do with Josh, we'll be getting back to those soon, and maybe more other cool, fun live stream stuff in the near future. So definitely a lot of plans for a lot of different things. So let's see, this part goes on here, that, very nice, and this one on here. Yeah. Review more Kotobukiya Type 48 kits, you know, the really bulky suits. Yes, I know the kit you're talking about. There aren't that many of them. There's like 3 different variants of that kit, I believe, right? Maybe 4, if there's like a exclusive version or something like that. But I believe there's like just the 3. There's the original one, the sniper type variant, which I do have, but I've not built yet. And then there's also the red one that has like a big sword type weapon. That I don't have that. I don't really ever plan on getting that one. I don't really like that version of the design quite as much. I believe those are the only 3. Been a subscriber since 2014. I was 14 years old back then. Thank you, Daz. been around since the beginning. Gotta say, Studio G's customization of this same kit turned out amazing. Love the black and red color scheme. I've not seen that either, sorry to say. Alright. Let's see. Let me just see this more closely. How this is supposed to go, like that. And like that. This part should be up like that. Here and here. And stickers 18 and 19 go on here. They're slightly different sized, I see. A lot of times these stickers that go on the inner frame, another reason why I many times don't put them on is because a lot of them become very difficult to ever see once the kit is actually all put together. But just in case, we'll put them on today. And we'll see. Maybe they'll be more visible today with this kit. Uh-oh. I think that's right, like that. And here. Alright, so let's see. The weight is insufferable for all the units that have yet to gain an MG of their own. Are you talking about something specific there? I think I probably missed a part of that conversation. Yeah. Stick on there. There you go. Oh, Dragonar kits. Older Lands of Bungle. PG Epion will be great. Yeah. Yep, that's pretty unlikely, I would say, a PG Epion. That's some very wishful thinking, but it would be nice. I can agree with that. It would be cool. I'm not like a huge fan of the Epion. It's a cool design though. I have not ever built that MG. That's one MG that, yeah, it does look very nice, and I'm sure it's a very fun MG, and I would like to build it someday, but just never have gotten one. Eventually. I think it's just one of those that it's never really felt it was urgent to get one. It's kind of always around. I don't know, these days it might be kind of hard to get your hands on, I suppose, but yeah, I never had an urgent need for one. If Bandai came out with like some P-Bandai version of the Epion, some variant or something, variant version, that would probably when I would strike and try to get my hands on one. The standard version, I don't know. Someday. Let's see, alright, we can go ahead and close that up there. Pop this piece here on the top. I think so, there we go. Very nice. Okay. And then the cockpit hatch. This part. It goes on there. Wait. That cut. Ah. Kaku is supposed to be down when putting this together. Like that. And attach that onto there. Whoa, that's not right. Didn't quite attach. Attach and move that down. There you go. Click into place. Pop this on here. Very nice. All right. Michael Dortz. Hey Zach, sorry if a bunch of people asked already, but how does your family like living in the USA? Yeah, a bunch of people have asked, but we're adjusting. Obviously, it's not what we're used to, and so it's just gonna take some time to adjust. You know, ask me again how much we like it in like a year and a half or something. You know, I might have different thoughts at that time as to how much we're really enjoying it or not, but for now we're just trying to get moved into our house. Well, the first step was just trying to just get a house. And for the time being we have secured a house. Now we're just going through all the process of the many steps to actually make it our own and get moved in. So it's not an easy process. And not a cheap process. But, well, what are you gonna do? Wait, you're in the US. If I see you, I want an autograph. Okay. No problem. If you're gonna be in Florida, then I can do that. I'm looking forward to when we can start having like in-person meetups and build days and stuff here at USA Gundam Store, or just in the US in general. I don't know if we have like some kind of events or something anywhere else. I'm looking forward to that. Just be hang out, meet some people, you know, mingle. Okay, there we go. Like that. I think that's right. Head is very tiny, and these parts here on the side. As per typical RG kit, you've got some very nice detail, but very tiny detail. I think that's what's giving me trouble, is because there's a tiny little bit of a nub left over here that's kind of getting in the way. That should be good. Alright. There we go. That's better. But yeah, it's been a crazy month, been a crazy week. I'm super really looking forward actually to tonight, to just getting the kids to bed and then just like collapsing on the sofa and just like sitting down to watch a movie with my wife or something tonight. We'll see if I can even make it that far. I'm pretty well tired after this week, but that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. What's your guys' plans for the weekend? Anything special? We don't really have too much planned for the weekend. Uh-oh. I think I missed a sticker for the head camera somewhere. Or maybe not. Seems like there should be a sticker there. Let's see. There is, number 4. I thought so. This tiny little one. It's going to be very difficult to see up there behind the V-fin, basically, but I'm going to try to get it in there. Oof. Yep. Well, it's in there, sort of. I don't know if it's actually stuck to where it's meant to be stuck to, but even have a little bit of movement here for the mullet there on the back of the head. There you go. Alright. Now, I would love to put the arms on there, but we've got all the parts for the backpack already out here, so let's just go ahead and skip ahead. Well, actually, the backpack is right after the head, but yeah, we skipped to the arms to get to the head. Anyway, okay, so got this here, and it goes on top of there, like that. There we go. I need a drink here. What's this, what's going on with this Capitolina agapova, this VORNGO? What's this? I've seen that come up a couple times. You're just giving me just some random letters, it seems like. Does that mean something or something? Am I supposed to get something out of that? Or is that something that, like, if I read those letters out loud, then you can then, like, suddenly have, like, hacked access into my Instagram account, and I'm gonna just regret ever reading that out loud or something? What's the deal with that? Dude being voodooed. I don't know what that is. Still drinking I'm still drinking the coffee, sorry. It's almost done. I'm still drinking the coffee because I've just been talking. He's giving codes for an ARG. What's that? I don't know what that means. It means nothing to me. I knew the best kit of 2021. Yeah, I need to, that's another reason why I need to get this kit built and the Master Grade Virtue built, so that I can do my best and worst kits of 2021 video for you guys. I need to see how these fit in. I'm sure probably both the Virtue and the Hainu are probably both among the best kits of the year, I can assume, but you know, once I've actually built them myself, I can say, you know, with more certainty. You guys can trust that I know what I'm talking about, because you know that I've built them. But I have done that in the past where I've included kits like on my list that I've not actually built before, just because I know based on everything that I've heard about the kits that they're exceptionally good. For example, their nuclear codes. So like, for example, like the RG Wing Gundam from 2021, I'm sure was a fantastic kit. I did not build it, and I don't plan to build one, but I don't really need to build one to know that I'm sure it was a very good kit. That kind of thing. Hello. There we go. And on the opposite end, we got this piece going on here, like Amagona, and this one here. Uh-oh. Feels like I didn't do that right. Can the Florida sun melt a Gunpla kit? Not that I've seen so far, but I've yet to fully test that out, so I'll have to get back to you, Eric. That would be a fun test. I don't know like how I would do it. Cause like obviously the sun's not gonna, itself is not gonna melt a kit, but I don't know, just like kind of do it as just a kind of joke video. Or like off camera I've got like a big magnifying glass like burning the kit, but if you do anything, even if it's just like a $5 even if it's just like a little $5 entry grade kit or something like that, anything like destroying a kit on camera, half the comments are gonna be people freaking out, which I kind of don't really want to deal with that, but at the same time it wouldn't bother me all that much. So there we go. Interesting way the fuel tanks go together. It's definitely more complex than I would have imagined for just a, just a fuel tank. So that's kind of interesting. Not your average fuel tank construction. What is the kit in the background? Right here. That's the Amazing Strike Freedom HG Build Fighters kit. I posted on that about that on Instagram. That it's one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite kits from the Build Fighters series. And I built and reviewed it when it first came out, but that's not this one. I actually have two of the kit now. This one, the one that I originally built and reviewed when the kit first came out, that one's packed away with all the rest of my backlog and everything. This is one that I just recently built for a second time because before I left Korea, I had like some coupons left to use for like the Gundam base there in Korea. I had an account at the Gundam base, and you just kind of get coupons and stuff in the mail just regularly every so often. So I had coupons left to use, and so that's what I decided to use the coupons for, was to buy another one of those because I just like the kit. So yeah, that's what that is. Alright, so now we build the main stabilizer for in the backpack. So that goes on that side, this goes on this side. Fuel tanks have more parts than an HG leg. Not quite that many parts, but yeah, they definitely have more parts than your usual fuel tank. That's for sure, yeah. Let's see, this piece goes on the bottom, around the vent detail. That looks very nice. And this one here on the side. It's definitely gonna be back heavy, but it seems solid enough that I don't think that its back heaviness will be much of an issue, but we'll see. So that goes on there like that. This one here. Are those gonna pop into there any more than that, or no? These parts here on the side seem like they should press in more, but I think that's it. So, okay, that can collapse into there or extend out like that. So, anyway, all right, and then this piece here and here. All right. We use a stand. Undecided. Like, ultimately just to display the kit. Yeah, probably putting it up on a stand will probably look better, I'm sure, yeah. But, I mean, just based on what I've seen of the kit, you know, I think it is a good looking kit just standing as well. And the fuel tanks kind of act as supports, basically, to help with its back heaviness, so they're definitely long enough to do so, as you can see. So put him right there, while we then build the funnel racks, kind of, basically, sort of what they are, times 2. So we got that one here and here. This piece goes into here. And here, that, and this one, to there. Very cool. I like that. Seems like there's some very cool moving parts gimmicks with these. There's a specific top and bottom of that one. I think on this one I probably put that on wrong. I did. Oops. There we go. And like that, and like that. And these parts here. Uh-oh. Be careful what I'm doing. That on. Like that. To there. Ah, very clever. Okay, so really cool how Bandai's made this moving part, and I'll show it to you once I just get this section put together. The part that holds the funnels here. Goes on here like that, and on there. And like that. And can't quite call this section done yet. Beam saber handle goes up in there. This little guy clips onto that. Kind of want to be a little bit careful with that, seems like. Could be kind of tricky. Then we can close this up, and then I can show you what I'm talking about here. So this, the first and second, like places where you will plug the funnels, they'll just move. Nothing moves with that. But the third one moves this vent here at the top at the same time. So you move the funnel, and the vent will move up along with that at the same time. Pretty cool. What other interests do you have other than Gundam? Daniel asks. Well, these days, like Gundam, Gunpla specifically, and like my family is really about all I really have much time for. But, you know, one hobby that I would like to get back into that I just kind of have neglected for a long time is cycling. So that's one thing. Reading is another hobby that also just haven't been able to do very much of for a while. And like just movies, music, you know, kind of normal things. But yeah. The most recent thing that I've watched, I have been having a little bit of time just to kind of relax with my wife from time to time, and we watched recently Silent Sea. Yeah, Genshining. Yes, Genshin. I still play Genshin, yeah. When I get a little bit of time here and there, of course I'm still playing Genshin Impact, yes. That's true. But no, my wife and I watched Silent Sea on Netflix. It's a Korean Netflix series. It's like sci-fi, mystery thriller type of sci-fi. It's good. It was good. Around the end, it kind of got a little. There were some parts where I kind of like didn't really like some of the stuff towards the end of it. Is there a front and back of this, or? I guess there is, maybe. But the series overall was good, I think. Have any of you guys watched that? Any of you watched Silent Sea on Netflix? I don't think I haven't seen too much attention paid to that, like from any of like my English speaking like Facebook friends and stuff. Obviously, like anytime I'm on Facebook, people are talking about like Boba Fett and different Marvel series and stuff like that. Usually, haven't seen much about stuff like that. Lorenz said it's a good show. Did you watch it? Be careful in those streets if you're planning on riding a bike. Yeah, I know about that. Benjamin said first episode only so far. Yeah, it's good. I won't talk too much about the ending though, or like any more of the story. Just as to not ruin anything for anyone, but there's some stickers that go here on the backpack, I know. 11 below, 16 above. And stick. Speaking of Genshining, I've pulled Shenhe and Yunjin on the current banners. No Xiao. I don't have Xiao, so I've been pulling on his banner. I don't know if I'm gonna get him or not. I'm not like really trying to pull him, because I'm kind of fine with. I'm just waiting. I've been more pulling for to try to get Yunjin to C2, because I usually don't pay too much attention to like constellations, especially for 5 stars, because like on 5 stars, like I'll get what I'll get and don't really pay too much attention to that. And even for 4 stars, I don't really pay too much attention to that. I'll just get whatever I get. It's fine, because I don't really spend any money on the game really. I'll get like the battle pass and the what is it? The other monthly thing. Welkin him thing. What was it called? Anyway, Welkin Moon, right? But where was I here? 11. There it is. With Yunjin, just like looking over her constellations, the second constellation does look pretty useful. So I've got her on C1 and hoping to pull one more to get her to C2 before the banner ends, but it's got like 3 days left, so we'll see. Don't know if I'll be able to swing that. if my next 4-star pull is Yunjin, I'll be good, but there's no guarantee that it will be. It very likely could be another Rosario or something, who I already have at C6, so I think it'd be easier to take the backpack off to put these parts on. Kind of tricky. Did you pull for Shenhe? Yeah, I pulled for Shenhe. I haven't really used her that much though, because I haven't got to the story part where I can get more of the materials you need for her ascension, the boss materials. I haven't got to that boss yet, is the problem. So she's still on like just like first or second ascension. So I haven't really done much with her. I have her though, so I'll use her some more later. Yunjin I got is now on she's on 70, 80. So it's what, the 4th ascension? Anyway. 70, 80 for her. She's not max ascension yet. But I will. Man, fighting that was that Wolfhound boss is really annoying. I don't like that boss. It's getting to like the point where I'm getting better at it now. It's always like every time there's a new boss to fight, I always like the first time I fight the boss, I'll really struggle with it, and like the next couple of times it'd be a little bit easier, and then after that it's pretty easy. This kit has so many small parts, it's crazy. Yes, it does have a lot of just parts, period. It has a lot of parts for this kit. Probably one reason why I'm not like in a hurry to paint this kit is because it just has so many dang parts. Shit. Including this teeny tiny little part that I almost just dropped, but fortunately I caught it. One of the little vents for the shoulders. Yeah, it really is, like, basically, I don't know for sure, but if you were to actually count the number of parts with this compared to the Master Grade Verka, they're probably right around the same part count, with this one maybe even having more parts than the MG Verka. You decide if you're painting this kit right away or what color scheme you were thinking. Yeah, Michael, it's what I was just talking about. Yeah, I have no intention of painting this right away. If and when I do paint it, I probably will not be doing the original colors. I'll do something a little bit different, but I don't know exactly what that would be yet. Can't say. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, and I don't think we're going to be coming to that bridge anytime soon. And I know I'm probably like way late to the party, and probably nobody even cares about this show anymore at this point, but the other show that I have been catching up on watching a little bit is The Walking Dead. I started watching it like when it was on season 10, so like I started way late already, and then I watched through season 9, and then I like just couldn't watch for a while, and now I'm finally watching season 10, and I think I have like one episode left of season 10, and like season 11 is supposed to be the last season of The Walking Dead. Is that right? I think I heard or saw something about that it's supposed to be the last season, which I mean I'm still enjoying it like well enough, I guess. So at the same time, it's kind of sad for it to end, I guess, but yeah, after 11 seasons, probably a good time to wrap it up. but we'll see what happens in the maybe. Christian said, yeah, the last. So yeah, sometime over this weekend, I'll finish up watching the last episode of season 10. See what happens. I'm waiting to find out what the heck happened to Rick. I'm assuming that they're gonna come back to that in the final season and talk about the people in the helicopter and all that, who I can't even remember now. The lady at the junkyard had like the cell phone that she could call the people in the helicopter or something like that way back when Rick was still in it, and then he, I think, must have got picked up by them, saved by them after he blew up the bridge or whatever. So I'm assuming that in the final season something's gonna happen with that. But we'll see. There will be a film about Rick? Oh, really? Is that so? Alright, hang on guys, I gotta take this phone call. I'm just gonna mute this. Here you go. Okay. Let's see. Anyone else check their phone too? Can you do a size comparison when you're done, please? Yeah, sure. Size comparison to what? To this HG here or something? I can do that. I mean, I can do that right now. You guys can see at least just like the height. It doesn't have arms on it yet, but you can see it is definitely larger. Like that. The feet are kind of even there. It's quite a bit larger. So. Really? There's gonna be a film about Rick. Okay. Interesting. Any good MG Verka kits to recommend? Most MG Verka kits are fine. I know, like, you may have heard somewhere online someone saying that, like, or like, advising you not to get an MG Verka, or you may have seen people like saying online, like, oh, MG Verka kits, watch out for those. But honestly, most MG Verka kits are perfectly fine. The only ones that I've really had much difficulty with would be like the Victory and Victory 2. Wouldn't really recommend them unless you're a big fan of the design. If you really like the design, then go for it. But if you're not really that big a fan of the Victory 2 designs, then maybe skip those. But any of the other ones are fine. Crossbones got a couple of finicky parts, a little bit maybe. The original RX-782 Verka is a pretty old kit, so I mean, don't expect anything too impressive out of it, but it doesn't have anything wrong with it either. So, for the most part, you're good to go. Let's see. Just a few hand option parts here. I do love the fact that it's swappable hands for this kit rather than articulated hands, like with some of the earlier RG kits. Definitely prefer swappable hands. And it says to build the shoulders later, but I'm going to build them right now. So we got this here. Put those together, put these pieces here on the side. These tiny little vent pieces, which I'm gonna have to be very careful with not to lose. Oof. Here and there. And then like that. Love that click. And this one. Very nice. Okay. But wait a minute. Oh, okay. There we go. Alright, so let's pop that onto there. I kind of don't really like this system of shoulder attachment where it's just a hole that fits over the peg, because what happens most of the time, it doesn't really like clip onto anything. So as you're moving things around, oftentimes it will come off of where it's supposed to be, and it's kind of tricky to get it back onto where it's supposed to be. So the other alternative, sometimes you have like the one that's just a C-clip that just pops down onto the top of it. The problem with that is then a lot of times those come off kind of too easily. So I'm not sure which one is the better solution for my liking, but I don't know. Which Silver Bullet kit can you recommend, the original or the suppressor? I prefer the original Silver Bullet HG kit. The suppressor is cool, but it's definitely it's probably my least favorite version of the Silver Bullet, to be honest. Between the Silver Bullet and its couple of different P-band die variants, and then also like the Dovin Wolf, if you want to kind of count that as sort of like a variant of the design, because it's essentially like a very similar kit. And then so between all those, and then also including the Silver Bullet suppressor, the suppressor is honestly probably my least favorite of all of them. But I mean, it's a cool kit. I like them all, but if I had to choose a least favorite, it would be the suppressor probably. Luchiki, hello. Which kits you recommend me, guys? I want the Freedom 2.0. The Freedom version 2.0 MG is a great kit. How do I like living back in the US? Yeah, I'm adjusting to it. Yanukan, nice shirt. Thank you. Shout out to Joel at True Gunpla. Alright. We might actually finish this in the time frame that I was hoping to finish it. But I do have some other stuff I need to get done today, so we might not finish everything entirely. I might, after we finish getting the arm put together here, I might call it a day here for the live stream anyway, and I'll finish building up the funnels and the weapons a little bit later, because I've got some other stuff I need to get done before the day's done. The call that I just got I had to put you guys on hold for to answer the calls from my insurance person. So more fun house stuff to do. Is there ever an MG Silver Bullet can use the frame for Mark V? In theory, but if you look at even though the designs for the Mark V and the Silver Bullet are very similar, and like canonically in the story they are related, but if you look at the designs of the actual kit and like how much of the actual Mark V kit they could use to make a Silver Bullet is very little of it, because even though the frame is very similar, you have to think the frame is what the armor parts are plugged onto. So if the armor part's different, the connection needs to be different. So there's actually very little of the Mark V frame I think that they could reuse for a Silver Bullet. Unfortunately, I would love a Master Grade Silver Bullet, but and I do think that it is very possible we may get one, but there's not very much of the Mark V that they'll be able to recycle in order to do that. Very little of it, actually. If you take a close look at like the Mark V Master Grade and then look at like it's just like a artwork, or like just look at the HG Silver Bullet, like look at them side by side, and think of them in terms of like an actual model kit, you'll see there's unfortunately not much that they would be able to reuse. Like basically some of like the core section of it, like the stomach, middle of the body, torso, and like maybe like some of the hip section, like some of that part around there, maybe parts of the torso frame, a little bit, like the upper torso frame, maybe a little bit of that, maybe some. That's about it. I don't know, not very much of it. I have to go back and look. When the Mark V first came out, I looked at it kind of more in detail, but now off the top of my head, I kind of don't really remember very well, but I do remember looking at it in detail, because I would love a Master Grade Silver Bullet. But yeah, unfortunately, who knows if or when that ever may happen. I hope so. Write your congressman and tell them to tell Bandai that we want a Master Grade Silver Bullet. I honestly just don't think that it would be a huge seller, really, unfortunately. I mean, that's always going to be the problem as to whether we get a kit of something or not. Bandai has to consider how well it's going to sell, right? And the Silver Bullet, I mean, while they have made a couple different versions of the HG, it's obviously doesn't cost them near as much to produce an HG kit. An MG costs Bandai a lot more to actually make. So if they're going to produce an MG of something, they got to know for sure that it's going to be a good return on the investment of producing it. The Silver Bullet, I just don't know if it just has that much appeal, unfortunately. But who knows? Could be wrong. There is always the fact that there is multiple variants of it that they could put out as further P Bandai exclusives and things, but even with that, I don't know. Alright. Arms of this kit, like with most kits, go together pretty quickly here, as you can see. That's going on there. This one, this part on here first. Like that. And then this silver part here. That part. Hand. Beam saber handle. And cover. Pop that on there. Oops. And our arms are done. Okay. So, there's most everything. And yeah, just to give you guys another comparison here, and I don't have a bunch of parts compared to your standard 1/44 scale kit, HG, but size-wise, you can see these are both 1/44 scale. Yeah, Mercenary. It sucks that the Mark V was the P Bandai. Yeah, definitely can agree. PG Death Scythe would sell really well. I think so. Yeah, pretty well. But I mean, still not as much as something like a. Well, PGs that they've already made, the Exia, the Unicorn, like the main suits of the series. Death Scythe is no doubt one of the most popular designs from Wing, but still, that's I just think not as popular as something like the Exia Unicorn, or even the Barbatos New Gundam. I think would be higher up on the list for getting a PG soon. First live stream I'm catching in 2022, Blaze. Well, I think it's the first live stream I've had in 2022, so you haven't missed anything yet. PG Barbatos would sell like hotcakes. Yeah, I'm sure that would be a popular one, and I could see Bandai doing that. I honestly don't think Bandai will do it anytime soon, but I didn't expect a master grade of that as soon as they did it. After they made the 1/100 scale kit, I was expecting there to probably be a little bit of a wait before they ever made any full-on master grade, but it came out earlier than I expected, so who knows. Alright guys, so yeah, the funnels and weapons and stuff I'll go ahead and just build a little bit later. I've got some other stuff I need to get done here today, but good being back to live streaming with you guys. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff on the to-do list, so there'll be plenty more live streaming as we go forward in the future. Where did you get your t-shirt you have on? Actually, Joel sent me this as a gift, but if you guys would like to purchase one, I'm sure he probably has them on his store, but I'm not sure. He might not have them up there at the moment. But if you just go to True Gunpla, I think if you just search True Gunpla, it should pull up his page on Holy Mountain Printing, where he works. Really, the Decal brand is Simp. Yes, Simp, the Decal brand, Simp. Simp Pro. They sell on Holy Mountain, yes. Holy Mountain Printing. So anyway guys, thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to relaxing a little bit, hopefully, even though there's still a lot of stuff to do. Still a lot of stuff going on for us, so I won't be back to like just like a normal, like full-on working schedule still probably for a little while yet, but we'll definitely be able to get to do some more live streaming now that most everything's all set up here. Just kind of still fine-tuning the setup here for everything, but I'm glad that at least for right now it's looking good, sounding good. That's good. So anyway guys, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.